Welcome to it, sports fans. Is the MKT Show. I'm MKT on a fantastic Friday. Live from Johannesburg, South Africa. The paradise that is Johannesburg, South Africa. Been great weather. Just living it up, by pandemic standards, living the dream. Living the dream. I'm MKT Sports, Cliff Central Sport. Welcome to it. Like, share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. Today, Friday 5, give you the 5 greatest African players to ever play in the Premier League. And then I've been saying it. I'll tell you about Liverpool. I've had my thoughts, but I'll give you my thoughts. And I think a little dilemma that might be forming as things unfold. MKT Inspires on social media. Otherwise, Cliff Central Sport on all social media platforms, or Cliff C Sport on the Twitter machine. All right, hope you had a great week. Let's wrap it up in the best way possible. Get into it. We got AFC, NFC playoff games this weekend. If you're into the NFL, of course, that's the big stuff. Conor McGregor's gonna smack Poirier in the mouth, knock him out in the third round. So that's happening this weekend as well. So if you're into the UFC, there's something for everybody this weekend. Break in the Premier League, but FA Cup, the oldest cup in football history. So looking forward to that as well. Let's get into this. And I hope you're well, by the way. I hope you're great. Hope you're enjoying your Friday long week. Hope you've put in the hours. And now you can kick back and spend some time with loved ones. Keep your mask on. Don't be a douchebag. Just keep your mask on. That's what's happening. We're in a pandemic right now. As though you need a sportscaster to tell you how to live your life. All right, let's move on. I try to do the good person thing. It's probably the last time I'll ever do it. Wear your mask. Don't wear your mask. I mean, just be a good person. So people are dying from the pandemic, though. So not having a mask on, just say it tells me who you are. But I'm a sportscaster. Why am I telling you how to live your life? Do not go by my standards or how I live my life. I just talk sports. I'm just a meathead. All right, enough of that. Let's get into it. Listen, the 5 greatest African players who have ever played in the Premier League, ultimately the greatest sporting league in the world. Not because I'm biased, it's the most competitive, well-paid league in the world, only followed by the NFL. But the NFL, parochial for its own reasons, the English Premier League, a league, a business product like no other. All right, at number 5, listen, he was, for 2 seasons, he was the best man marker in the world. They got him from Kaizer Chiefs, and he is the leader. I mean, one of the greatest indie bands, if you're into that scene, named Kaizer Chiefs because of this man. He left Kaizer Chiefs and became an absolute legacy statue, of course, at Ellen Road, one of the greatest they've ever had, certainly the greatest we've ever produced. 10 years of absolute greatness as captain of this fantastic club in Yorkshire. At number 5, the great Lucas Radebe. They say Radebe in the UK for whatever reason. But he was unbelievable. A mountain of a man. Before Rio Ferdinand, ball-playing machine. Remember, he could play defensive midfield as well. And for 2 seasons, he was known as the best man marker in the world, Lucas Radebe. So Lucas Radebe at number 5, absolute mountain of a man. And South Africans we've never been able to replicate that sort of quality with that consistency. He spent 10 great years at Leeds. He had that season in the championship, but he didn't really play. When they got relegated, everything fell apart, of course, after that season where they really went for it. Magnificent player. At number 4, he was an animal at right back. The youngsters today will think Trent Alexander-Arnold has never existed before. Robertson's never existed before. But Arsenal had 2 of those at the same time before these guys. And I'd say these 2 were better than Robertson and Alexander-Arnold. Now, the numbers are going to tell you, hey, the assists and some of the things they're doing. But those guys could actually go box to box and defend. Robertson and Trent, I don't love the defending side. But, the system's built for them. But I'll let you worry about that. This guy was an animal. This is at number 4, by the way. An animal at right back. A ball-playing right back. A genuinely ball-playing right back. He was raised playing in the midfield, moved to right back. Wenger did this to him. He was an invincible and a vital part of how they functioned. Without his athleticism, they had Ashley Cole the other side, who gave you everything. But this guy gave you just as much on the other side. You could almost write off both wings, right? You couldn't attack Arsenal left or right because both him and Cole, strong, athletic, unbeatable, and world-class sense for the game, right? They were always in the right place, never looked flustered. I don't remember this guy ever sliding. And what that tells you isn't, oh, okay, he was soft. He was anything but. He was an indomitable lion, always in the right place, terrific delivery, and unbeatable in the air, unbeatable in the one-on-one. At number 4, the tremendous Laurent. Absolutely. I mean, for youngsters, it's so difficult because now we get YouTube highlights of our guys now. I just wish more people could have seen this guy play. Absolutely just incredible. A vital part of that Invincibles team. At number 3, so birthday cakes and all. I don't think you can deny this. Two times he was team of the year, 3-time league winner. He'd go box to box. One season got himself 20 from a deep lying role. I think he had 2 unbelievable seasons, particularly the last 2 titles. The last one was really, really special under Pep. And then the birthday cake shenanigans started and everything. Ugh. You know, it went sideways. But great is great. And he was truly, truly transcendently great. An absolutely brilliant dynamo going box to box, goal scoring, attacking, defending. He could play centre back if you needed him to. All round player, all round maestro. Terrifically cultured right foot, and he could get you every type of goal. Late headers driving into the box, long range strikes, left foot, right foot, didn't matter. This guy's the 3rd best player from Africa to play in the Premier League. Get him a birthday cake, will you? Just do that. At number 3, the absolutely great Yaya Toure. At number 2, and I think this is the first time outside of George Weah where I could say this guy was the best player in the world last year. And you could say, okay, it's debatable. Him, Ronaldo, Messi, maybe De Bruyne. I don't think De Bruyne, other than the assists, I think De Bruyne was maybe deserving of the title of best player in the Premier League, which might seem contradictory. But remember, there's also Champions League and what you're doing on the continent. This guy, for the last 16, 18 months, I think him and Messi have separated themselves from everybody else. 3 times he's been in the team of the year. He's won one Premier League title. He's the guy right now. There's nobody like him in this league. He goes left, he goes right. He scores every type of goal. And considering his height, he's unbelievable in the air. He is unbelievable in the air. And do you know what I love about him? Is it's the type of thing, if I were to be in a relationship, it's what I'd like, right? Because really what he is a supermodel, but he has the ego, right? He has the ego of somebody who, I don't know, is like overweight and spotty faced. I don't know how to explain it better than that. So he's really a supermodel. He should have that ego because he is that. So I mean, it's I don't know. It's Giselle Bundchen with, I don't know, like an overweight person's ego. That's what he is. All right. Sadio Mane at number 2 is quite simply unstoppable. And that I love. You'll hear me preach this often. I want it in my life. I desire it most in my sportsman. Right? High production, low tolerance. It's almost impossible to find. Cristiano Ronaldo, Leo Messi, Sadio Mane. High production, super low tolerance. It is almost impossible to find. Even Thierry Henry had a little bit of a thing about him. He was a bit to handle. You know, every now and then Vieira would have to put him back in place. Sadio Mane has never been a problem. Like, that is dream stuff. And he is just been unbelievable the last 18 months. The 2nd best player to ever play in the Premier League from this great continent of ours. And you know, he's an idol for many. And I don't think sportsmen need to be anybody's role model. But, you know, if you can just take the fact that, hey, nobody cares how much you do. If you're great, and I'll often profess this, if you're great, never flex your power. Like, because he's a powerful man, right? Being a footballer makes you a powerful man. He's great at what he does. And he never flexes his power. If you're powerful, don't flex. People know you're powerful. As soon as you flex your power, it turns people off. Sadio Mane, it's just the whole package. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love Sadio Mane. He's the 2nd greatest player in the league. 3 times he's been player of the year. And he's nabbed himself a Premier League title as well. I think quite outstanding. At number 1, you know, very few times in life do you get Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, where they come into an industry. And if you're in that industry, you must change immediately or you will be closed down within 2 years. It happens very Jack Ma, right? Jack Welch, if you're Dangote, if you're Nigerian, is you must quickly change because of this person, this one dynamic individual, or your business will go shut within 2 years. It very rarely happens where an industry, a changer happens, and it's an individual. This guy, 4 titles, 2 times Team of the Year, and twice he was the leading scorer in the league. Once from striker, was the leading assist maker in the league. But the most incredible part about him, and we are still searching for a replacement for him today. The club he played for has been through 4 strikers that I can count off the top of my mind, and they still can't replace him. He was a one-man wrecking ball. He had everything: pace, power, touch, and he could score every type of goal. Set piece specialist. Didn't matter what you needed to do. 3 defenders on him. He'd bring other people into the game. He created the greatest duo, I believe, the Premier League's ever seen. He was by far and away the best striker we've seen in the last 10 years in the league. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest player from Africa. He forced every team in the league. Every team. Now you look at it. Nobody plays 2 up top anymore. Every team in the league had to go and find a strong player with a great touch who could finish. Everyone thought they could do it. He's the greatest to ever do it. Everyone had to go one up front or they fell off. Didier Drogba is simply the greatest thing Africa's ever produced. I think he may be, I believe he's Africa's greatest sportsman of all time. He is. He went and dominated the toughest league in the world for 6 years, really. But he forced the entire Premier League, and you might even say Europe, because everyone was going 4-4-2. He came along. You must find a Drogba. Big first touch, technically sublime, so that's not a problem. And Chelsea have tried with Lukaku. Lukaku is technically awful, right? All he is physical. Every other part, like his run, he doesn't make any runs, right? What Lukaku is just an absolute animal. You can overcome your technical deficiencies when you are that much of a beast. He's not Drogba. He ain't close. And they tried. They gave him the room. Man United tried with him. Gave him the room. Diego Costa, very nice. High maintenance. Didier Drogba, low maintenance. Or it's some maintenance because he had a bit of a personality. But through the roof production, I can deal with it. Absolutely. He's different. And the league's tried. Give me one other forward, maybe Aguero. But Aguero doesn't give you the physical presence in the air where plan B needs to come into order. Give me one other striker that's ever been in the league, ever, that could play up front on their own and cause that much distraction. I think he made Frank Lampard probably the greatest midfielder, second greatest midfielder we've ever seen behind Roy Keane, that the Premier League's ever seen. What he did for Lampard cannot deny it. The quality of Drogba, it's the mix of brute force and ballet-like finesse that we haven't seen again. One-man wrecking ball. Didier Drogba, greatest African to ever play in the Premier League. At number 5, Lucas Radebe. At number 4, Lauren. At number 3, Yaya Toure. Number 2, Sadio Mane. Number 1, the undisputed Ivorian king, Didier Drogba. Those are my 5 greatest African players to ever play in the league. That is your Friday 5 for this 22nd of January, 2021. All right, let's wrap it up. People, by the way, if you like the content, click that one. If you don't like the content, don't know, go back to DJing or whatever you were doing before this. Just act like this didn't happen. It's not even real in your life. All right, let's finish off on this. Liverpool lost to Burnley, and I don't ever want to hear people saying it's a dynasty. Do me a favor. Chelsea went 86 unbeaten at home, 04 to 08. Stop it. Stop. You were never that. You were never going to be that. Let's not, the levels Mourinho set with that team may never be seen again. They conceded 15 goals in one season. 15 the whole season. Not Liverpool conceded, I think, 15 in 6 games this season. Something. Come on. Stop. Very good team, though. Jurgen Klopp has built a very good team. And you know what it is? So Burnley, Liverpool lost to Burnley 1-0, by the way, yesterday, breaking that unbeaten record at home. 68 they went, 68 games under Jurgen Klopp, which is awesome. Great record. One thing I like in my life is high energy people. You got to have that thing, a bit of chutzpah, a bit of, a bit of, what did the French call it? Is it joie de vivre? You got to have a bit of joie de vivre. That's what you need, right? You got to have a bit of juice. Have some juice. Have some juice. I like high energy people. Bring some value in life. I like it, but I like to take it like a little bit because I'm sort of ADD, high energy, loud. I like that. It's who I am, so I need that. I don't really do docile and quiet. It ain't for me. It's not how I was raised. I like people who express themselves, but I'm also aware that it's not sustainable in long relationships if the person isn't self-aware. Like you can't be with somebody like me all day. It's a lot. I accept that. We all have our shortcomings. I accept that. I accept that I can be too much because it's not sustainable. Energy is great. 4 hours, maybe at a party, great. Is it sustainable? And I'm all about sustainable because I'm getting old now. I'm starting to think, hey, what I'm doing in my life now, the stuff I eat, the exercise routine I have, the lifestyle I have, the friends I have, will I have them at 45? If not, they got to go. It's not sustainable. Like I'm too old now, right? I don't have that much energy to be able to have a high maintenance friend and deal with the problems. Like I want to keep the problems low. That's the problem. Energy people are great, but you want to treat them like medicine, right? Too much of them, it's going to kill you. Liverpool aren't going to be top 4. So I said that at the beginning of the season to you. And if you're a Liverpool fan, and many have ridiculed me on here, I told you I've been watching the Premier League for 28 years. I know how this thing works. It's 2 seasons, you fall off a cliff. You've had your 2 great seasons. I don't want to go on about that again. But fatigue is real, especially when you have a catalyst like Jurgen Klopp. So he's not like level playing field, like Mourinho, right? Mourinho, you get a bit of, but Mourinho is pretty level. Fergie, pretty level guy. You kind of know what you're getting. Jurgen Klopp's up, down, and it's the temper tantrums. And I said to you a couple of weeks ago when I saw him blaming the refs, and then he's talking about Man United getting penalty decisions. Once people in life start talking about other people's problems, they are the problem. They're starting to unravel. People unravel, they start talking about other people's problems and other people's relationships and how they would do this and why don't I get this and I'm a victim. The Liverpool thing's been unraveling for a while. Sadio Mane last season coming off onto the bench. What happened? Threw a temper tantrum because Mo Salah, we've all said it before, doesn't pass. Now, that's nice if you're winning. But let me tell you the dilemma. So Liverpool not making the top 4, I said it since the beginning of the season. It's over. Like, let it go. It's over. They're fatigued. The teams, they've seen enough of each other. Sometimes you just need a new voice, and Jurgen Klopp is He grinds, and that only lasts so long. But here's my question with Liverpool is you need to make a decision at the end of the season. You either move on from Jurgen Klopp or you move on from the players. So I think you might need to get rid of I think Sadio Mane should be off the table. So you move on from Salah, Firmino, and maybe one of your midfielders. It might be time to let Wijnaldum go. I know he wants to go to Barcelona. Let him go. Maybe refresh at the back as well. Matip may need to go. You start Gomez as your main guy. And you make some decisions on Van Dijk. I know people think he's the best in the world. I don't think so. But okay, maybe you say Van Dijk stays. Trent Alexander, I know he's one of their own. He's only 20. You don't sell him. Robertson, what do you do there? Because I know these things last forever. Now, unless you're Manchester United and you've got 6 of your own kids and you're going to keep them forever. But Robertson's dispensable. Virgil van Dijk's dispensable. Matip's dispensable. They're not from Liverpool. It doesn't mean as much to them. Trent, you got to keep. Right? Alisson, you got to keep. You don't find a world-class keeper like that. But everybody else, Jordan Henderson, He's not Steven Gerrard. Don't kid yourselves. He's not Steven Gerrard. And I know all the Liverpool fans have tried to make him out like he is. He's not. He's all heart, whole effort. Listen, the Jordan Henderson style of leadership, wherever you are, rah. It's really a fast-burning fuel. Are you good enough, Jordan? Like, okay, we've done the rah-rah stuff and you're holding us to a standard. Are you good enough to take us over across the Rubicon? I don't think he is. Is he disposable? I think he is. So I wouldn't get attached to Robertson. I wouldn't get attached to Henderson. And I know people don't like to move on, go in the won the league. It's not. There's fatigue. These dynasties don't last. People think winning is easy. It's not. What you have to do at the end of the season, and I think Liverpool have to do it now, don't wait. You choose between Klopp and you choose between the players. If you choose Klopp, I would get rid of Firmino. I would get rid of Mo Salah, get the money and get some youngsters. I'd go for maybe a Haaland, maybe try and get Kylian Mbappe. You got to refresh. You got to do something in midfield because that's stale now. Henderson stale, Wijnaldum it's stale because the Liverpool midfield is so functional. And I've said it to you before, Thiago is not going to play the whole season. You can't rely on him. His whole resume tells you injury waiting to happen. He's already had a major injury. And folks, injured young is injured old. He will get injured again. He's not Bruno Fernandes. Bruno's got a great record of playing 30, 33 games a season and more. Thiago has played one game of 30 games in a season in the last 10 years. So you got to do something. If I'm Liverpool, right? If I'm Liverpool, I choose the players. Because it's super hard to find a guy who's going to get you 25 goals a season. It's hard to find Bobby Firmino. Again, supermodel talent. And I don't know, mediocre looking person's sort of ego, right? It's like Idris Elba, but no ego. Could you imagine that as a partner? Right? If you're out there, ladies, imagine dating Giselle Bundchen with no ego. That's really what Bobby Firmino is. He's unbelievable. He's world class. He's top 5 strikers in the world, but no problems. Mane, same thing. Mo Salah, doesn't pass, a little greedy, little temper tantrums, don't have it. I could move on from Mo Salah, I'm telling you. I can move on from Robertson. I can move on from him. But if I was them, I'd probably move on from the manager because it's going to be hard to get these guys hearing that same voice to reach the levels of 2 years ago. And once it's done, it's done. Love Liverpool fans think, but I think it's over at Liverpool. And I don't mean over like sometimes. I'd rather be in a relationship with somebody where we have 4 great years and then boom, let's end it. I don't want to have 15 mediocre years with anyone because there's lots of mediocre out there. Liverpool have been phenomenal for 2 years, 2 good years. Take that and move on. It's only downwards here from Jurgen Klopp unless he goes and spends £300 million, which I don't know where they're going to get that. And again, how do you place the goals? You can't fire all the players. I'd get rid of the manager. And it doesn't have to be ugly. It just needs to be, let's move on. Julian Nagelsmann will probably need a job. And he's the next one. High energy is only sustainable for a short amount of time. That's what I do. So Liverpool, forget about top 4. It's done now. You're fatigued. I told you at the beginning of the season. And if you didn't listen, I can't help you with that. But I told you, these things don't last forever. And Liverpool are not a dynasty. Stop talking about that. They had one very, very... Let it go. I was right. For all the ridicule and mocking and whatever it was, let it go. I was right. Just admit I was right. Move on. The guys are fatigued. It's go and, if you're at home and you're a Premier League nerd like me, just go and look at the history of the Premier League. Only United have three-peated. All the great... The other only real dynasty is Mourinho. 2 league title in a row, and then what happened third season? The other one, 2 league titles in a row. What happened? Liverpool have had their 2 league title winning seasons. It's just that Man City got 100 points. They had that 2 seasons ago. Last season, they won the league. And then this season, you fall off a cliff. Don't get emotional about it. Just follow the... Folks, it's all about, hey, you got to go with the principle, not how you feel. Always go with the principle over your feelings. And the principle is that 2 seasons and you fall off a cliff. If you're a Liverpool fan, it doesn't bring me joy to deliver you this bad news, but it's objectively true. So it's not my fault that things are the way they are. All right. That is it for this week. Thank you so much. Cliff C Sport on Twitter, Cliff Central Sport on all social media platforms. I am MKT Inspires on all social media platforms. Click that one if you like the content. That's thumbs up. Thumbs down if you don't like the content. Or nothing. Or nothing. You can go back to having, I don't know, a good or a miserable time. If you're doing a puzzle before this, go and do that if you didn't like this. But if you did, so you need to start rethinking your choices. But I appreciate you. Much love from this side. It has been an awesome week from everybody here at Cliff Central Sport, the MKT show for ladies and gentlemen. For this week, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap. For now, I am the hell out of here.